What is good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Jay in the building. We is back again with another video. Now, before we get this video started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so I'm just gonna be brief with y'all, and I did want to do a small little mid-season HBCU football recap. Now, I'm gonna do it for both conferences, and I'm just gonna be real quick, man. I'm gonna review the best team, who I have as lead candidate for offense and defensive player of the year from both conferences, most surprising and most disappointing team, and my prediction on what's gonna happen throughout the rest of the season. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get right onto this video, man. Now, the first conference we're gonna do is SWAC, and best team, of course, it's been Jackson State, best HBCU team, and they just been amazing, leading with a really good running game, and Ahmad Miller and Davenport and Travis Terrell with a bevy of receivers, and Jacoby Morgan has just been that dude, man. And last 3 or 4 games, about 11 total touchdowns to only 1-2 interceptions, and last game of the year, clutch. A clutch throw to Nate Renberg, man. 5 total touchdowns in that game. So he's just been amazing. And this Jackson State team, period, have been playing amazing. And even when they played Southern Miss, they were only down by 7 points going into the halftime. And when Southern Miss was favored by 20-something points, and they lost by 14, 18 points. So listen. This Jackson State team, the best offense and defense in the SWAC, and they've been playing very well, man. It's been an A for me for them. Now, offensive players of the year who I have leading so far is Andrew Body, #1 in the conference in passing. He's top 5 in rushing. He only has 1 interception with probably 16 total touchdowns. And yeah, Andrew Body has been amazing. Second guy I have is Jacoby Morgan, quarterback out of Jackson State. Third guy I have is Cameron Ransom. Now, I don't know if y'all, we're gonna get to Bethune-Cookman, but yeah, just Cameron Ransom, man. He's been on fire the last 4 or 5 weeks, starting with the second quarter in the South Carolina State game. So this offense has been amazing. So yeah, I do have Cameron Ransom, my third guy when it comes to the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. So my defensive players of the year that I have at #1, I have Quincy Ivory from Jackson State. At #2, I have Caleb Givens from Southern. Now, even though Southern has been bad defensively, Caleb Givens has really been the only bright spot on that defense. He's been playing very well. And my third guy, y'all may not know him, but I have Wyatt White, linebacker out of Alabama A&M. I don't know if y'all been really paying attention to him, but he's been playing absolutely amazing. So I have him as my #3. My most surprising team, I have 2 teams. I have Bethune-Cookman, and I have Fairview A&M. Even though I don't know if I wouldn't classify Fairview as a surprise team, but I would say they've been the most impressive team in the West Division so far. But to speak on Bethune-Cookman, if you want to, outside of the games they played against the FBS, man, they scored no less than 35 points a game, and like I said, Ransom has been on fire with the wide receiver duo in Malik and Ross. Those 2 guys have been playing absolutely amazing with a really good, nice run game that they have in the backfield. Now, even though their defense has been terrible, I'm not gonna lie to you. They definitely have probably one of the worst defenses in the SWAC. And if it has not been for this offense, they would be losing a lot of these games that they're winning. They're 2-1 in the conference, and if y'all take a look at their schedule, they have a very favorable rest of the schedule. They still play Pine Bluff, they still play Valley State, they play Grambling. I think they have Jackson State on the schedule. Then they have FAMU. They could win 3 out of their last 5 games and have a winning record in the SWAC for the first time. So I do think that Bethune-Cookman do have a really fighting chance at making some noise, man, in this conference, man. So we'll see what happens with them. And then in terms of Prairie View has been really solid defensively. Real solid from top to bottom. They're top 3 in both scoring defense. They're the best rushing defense, best passing defense, and top 3 rush defense. And now, even though they don't score a lot of points, they don't give up a lot of points. And they have a nice running game in Bigman and McDowell and also Tevin Carter. Now, what scares me a little bit is their passing game. Even though I do like their receiver in Walkwell, that passing offense scares me. And they don't have consistent quarterback play when it comes to passing the ball. But I do believe in the defense. Their defense is very solid all the way around. From the rushing to the passing defense, I'm really solid with them. And I do believe that when it comes to the division, I think it's fairly easy. Now, they do have Alabama State left on the schedule, and they do have to play Alabama A&M, and those 2 games count towards their conference record. So we're gonna see how they fare well versus those 2 teams. But I think that it ain't gonna be easy for them, even though they are 1 game ahead of Texas Southern. They still have to win the majority of these games, but I do think that they have a little bit of room for error because they did beat Texas Southern. So we'll see what happens with them, but those are my 2 surprise teams so far in the SWAC. Most disappointing teams in the SWAC, 100% undoubtedly Southern and FAMU. And I've been waiting for a while to talk about these 2 teams because, Lord, Southern was favored to win the West Division. So much so, they had more first place votes to win their division than Jackson State did to win the East Division. And they have the majority of their players back on defense from last year when they went to the SWAC championship game. So me looking at this defense this year, it's mad confusing because I can't even begin to tell you what is wrong with their defense. I do know that they give up way too many points, give up way too many yardage to be having the same players from last year for them to look like this. I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. They don't generate no turnovers. They don't stop anybody. They give up way too many points, and they have way too many penalties. They're undisciplined. They're out of position every game. Hell, their 1 win that so far this year has been against a Valley State team that they let them score 20, 28, 29 points on them, almost 30. And, even though, listen, they've been without their starting quarterback all year outside of Valley State, in which he didn't finish the game, even though their quarterback play has been bad, really their only bright spot on the team really has been Trey Holly. Trey Holly really has been their only bright spot on his offense because they don't score no points. They don't generate nothing passing-wise. And if Trey Holly don't break away from a 60, 70-yard run, they don't generate nothing on offense. They don't generate nothing. Like that long pass play last week against Bethune-Cookman, that's an outlier because that don't happen. But yeah, man, Southern is just really in trouble. and I don't know what they do from here. Now, granted, I do think Coach Graves should get some grace because he did go to the SWAC championship game his first year last year. Now, this other team, FAMU, and the Coach Cousy, I don't know if he's getting that much grace. Because what I think this is a snowball effect from them losing against Valley State last year at home when they had a 19 or 20 game home win streak. One of the longest home win streaks in FCS history. As a matter of fact, I think in Division I history. To go from that to this year, you losing by 30 plus points in back-to-back home games, getting 40 dropped on you on a consistent basis, and y'all haven't played Jackson State yet. Y'all the worst. You have the worst rushing attack with all-conference running back, with some all-conference offensive linemen, and y'all been on a quarterback carousel since the offseason. And I knew it was weird when y'all recruited. Listen, y'all know on this channel I do recruitment videos, so I was paying attention to what FAMU was doing during the recruiting process, and I count, no lie, 7 quarterbacks. I did 7 quarterbacks. I did 4 even after the spring game. And I thought even that was weird. Because I'm like, you still recruiting quarterbacks even after spring season? I thought that was very, very odd to me. But what FAMU fans are telling me is, well, a few of the quarterbacks transferred to wide receiver. Some of them ain't coming. Okay, I received that. They wait until the day of the game to announce who the quarterback was. And they had a long quarterback battle throughout the entire year. And during the season, they still don't have an identity on who the quarterback is. They're still trying to figure it out. So, I don't know. Man, it's going to be hard for Cousy. And they still have to play Valley State at Valley State. And that game got changed to November because for some reason they couldn't play in Atlanta, in which a lot of us know why it happened, man. Janky promoters. Them janky promoters. But yeah, man, it's just, dog. Both of these defenses are really bad. They don't generate no type of points whatsoever, and they give up almost 40 points a game. They give up over 400 yards, and I just don't understand it. When FAMU, matter of fact, FAMU was predicted to finish second in the East, and it don't look good, man. And I hope they can at least have some pride and finish out the rest of the season winning some games. But, dog, FAMU still got to play Jackson State at home. They still got to play Bethune-Cookman in the Florida Classic with the amount of points that Bethune-Cookman has been putting up. So, that's going to be very, very wicked, man. Now, my predictions for the rest of the SWAC, I think it's fairly easy, especially with the schedule that Jackson State has. They're gonna finish first in the East. The SWAC championship game will be played at Jackson State. Now the team who playing them, I think Prairie View is gonna win it, or Prairie View is gonna win the West Division. Now, even though they do have a tough little schedule for the rest of the season, but I think Prairie View could pull it off, and they're going to be going to Jackson State, and they're going to be playing Jackson State. And I hope that we can get a good SWAC championship game, because we ain't had a good one in about 5 years. Matter of fact, the best one that I've seen was in 2019 with Southern and Alcorn. That might have been that was the best one I've seen since then. But we'll see what happens. And I've been seeing that I guess it's an ongoing thing that they should do away with the division. I think they should have been done that. I think we got robbed of seeing FAMU and Jackson State in the SWAC championship back in 2021. When they met in game 1, when Jackson State won 7-6, I think they should have met again later on in the year. That's why everybody was wanting to push that game back the following year. Now, see, if the divisions was cut, we would have saw FAMU and Jackson State in the SWAC championship game. But listen, and I see that, listen, all of the Division I conferences outside of the Sun Belt and the SWAC all did away with the divisions. And don't say that it's an HBCU thing, because the CIAA and the SIAC cut their divisions out. Otherwise, we wouldn't have saw Virginia State and Virginia Union last year in the CIAA championship game. But listen, that's the SWAC. They want to be stuck in the time. That's cool. I ain't mad either way. I just hope that if Paraview get there, that Paraview can make a game out of this. Because I do believe that they have a really, really tough defense. And if they're able to make it tough on Jackson State, then we'll have a good defensive game. And I would love to see that, me being a defensive guy. So I would like that. So to move on to the MEAC, man, of course, the best team so far to me has been North Carolina Central. Especially both offensive and defensively. Starting with Walker Harris. That quarterback, man, he slings that ball all around the field, and he's been waiting. He sat behind Davis Richards for about 2-3 years. Got his first opportunity last year, and unfortunately, he lost to South Carolina State. And I believe this year he's out on a mission. He's been out on a mission this year. Offense has been completely dominant, to go along with Chris Mosley at running back. And that defense, man, for Central has been solid at times. It's been solid at times. Because now, they did get 40 put on them against East Texas. And East Texas ain't known for their offense. So that did worry me a little bit. But I like this Central team so far this year. And this was always the team that I picked to win the MEAC. And so far, they have not let me down. Now, my picks for offensive players of the year, number 1, I have Walker Harris, quarterback for Central. The second guy, I have Marcus Gillis, running back for Delaware State. He's been running like a madman all year long in that team. My third guy, I have Chris Mosley, running back out of North Carolina Central. But yeah, those are my top 3 picks for Offensive Player of the Year in the MEAC. On the defensive side, my top 3 guys. Number 1, I have Eric Hunter, linebacker for Morgan State. Number 2, I have Michael Lungs. I think that's how you say his name, but he's the defensive lineman for South Carolina State. And my number 3 guy, I have Michael Thomas, defensive end out of North Carolina Central. He's been playing amazing as well. Now, my most surprising team has been easily Delaware State. Dog, I don't know what Deshaun Jackson did before this season, but this offense that they got has been putting up video game numbers all year long. This team is averaging almost 500 yards total offense. 330 of it is coming from rushing. And What's even more crazy about this is that they are never in an I formation. They're not in a single back formation. They don't run the triple option. They don't do nothing. They are in a shotgun all game long, and they're in an off back and no pistol either. And they're handing the ball off, letting the running back pick a hole, and he going. They have 3 runners in the top 5 in the MEAC in rushing. They easily have the best rushing attack in the country, and it ain't close. It's not even close. This dude, James Jones and Marquise Gillis, dog, they both averaging 100 yards rushing, and they run like madmen. Now, I am a little skeptical about their defense, because their defense gives up a lot of yardage and they give up a lot of points. And they are easily one of the most undisciplined team in the country. They also have over 60 penalties in 7 games. They have about 60, maybe even 70 penalties. This team is very undisciplined. But you know what they can do? They can run the hell out of the ball. Now, Caden Bennett, eventually, when the run game ain't working, but it's hard to say because it's been working all year. This running game has been working all year long. Nobody can stop it. Nobody. Even though they don't win every game, the fact of the matter is, with the passing threat of Caden Bennett, he can throw the ball at times, but even he can run the ball. He has over 400 yards rushing. Even though he only has 900 yards passing, he has 400 yards rushing. He is very dangerous with the ball in his hands, man. And I gotta give credit to Deshaun Jackson because he has this offense playing like madmen. It is ridiculous watching this team play offense. It is ridiculous. I don't know how they do it, but that's my surprising team. Our most disappointing team is Norfolk State. I thought when Michael Vick hit the scene, I thought that they were going to be more competitive than what they are. This team has not only not been competitive, but Mike Vick has already fired their defensive coordinator and 2 position coaches in 6 weeks. Not even, just halfway through the year, and he already fired their defensive coordinator. And that ain't the only issue. Even though, Otto Coons has been good, their only win has been against a Virginia State team in which they had to do it in overtime. So yeah, this offense has to. Offensively they've been good. They have some real good receivers, and they move the ball well. But defensively, man, they've been bad. They've been bad, man. And I hope they can get together. I really hope they get together. But predictions for the MEAC. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think it really is going to come down to Delaware State and North Carolina Central. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Central is going to beat Delaware State. I think Delaware State is going to beat South Carolina State. I think that Central is going. I think South Carolina State might lose to Central. I think that may happen. I'm not sure, but I think Central and Delaware State is gonna share the MEAC championship. But I think Central is gonna get the nod because of the head-to-head matchup of them beating Delaware State, and I think North Carolina Central is gonna go to the Celebration Bowl, and I think Jackson State and North Carolina Central is gonna meet up in Celebration Bowl, and that's gonna be that's gonna be that's gonna be a real good game if that happens. And hell, even if Delaware State goes, they're gonna make that a barn burner, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. I think it's gonna be either North Carolina Central or Delaware State winning this MEAC championship. I can see it. I can absolutely see it. But I do think ultimately, I think North Carolina Central is gonna win just because I simply think they have the better quarterback. When it comes down to it, who gonna make that throw? Cause I don't know how long they can keep this running thing up, bro. I don't know. But if it's one thing that is gonna carry you, is a running game and a defense. And boy, Delaware State only has one of them. Delaware State could run the hell out the ball, but when it comes to stopping somebody, I don't know if they can do it. They're going to have to keep up with what North Carolina Central has. So we'll see what happens. But ultimately, I got North Carolina Central winning the MEAC championship. Or, matter of fact, sharing it with Delaware State. But I do have North Carolina Central going to the Celebration Bowl. But listen, man, it's been a crazy season so far, but I can't wait for the rest of the year to happen. And y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'ma holler at y'all, man.